Hello, my independent learners. Today we are going to be working together and I'm going to be talking you guys through the lesson because the lesson on Zurin this time wasn't the best one. So we're going to work through it together. Let me just switch my camera around so you guys are seeing it the same way I am. So in this lesson, you guys are going to be solving word problems. But it's tricky because you're going to be solving word problems using grams, kilograms, liters, and milliliters. So we're going to be using all of those units in word problems. So I've got a problem for you. A pet mouse. A pet mouse weighs 34 grams. A pet hamster is going to weigh 126 grams more than the mouse. And we need to figure out how much does the pet hamster weigh? So take a second and think, how can you set up this problem? What do you think is going to be the best way to solve this problem? Pause the video for a second and think about what can you do? Okay, so now I'm wondering what you did on your paper. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. So we could do a number bond. And I could say that the mouse is 34 grams. I don't know what the hamster weighs, but I know all together it's going to be 126 grams. And then I could just do some subtraction. 126 minus the 34. So 92 grams. The hamster weighs 92 grams. If you solved it another way, bring that down to the rug so we can talk about it. So let's try another problem. Judith squeezes 140 milliliters of lemon juice to make 1 liter of lemonade. So we need to know how many milliliters are in 2 liters of lemonade. Take a second and think, what can we do? If there's 140 milliliters in 1 liter, how many are going to be in 2 liters? Pause the video for a second and think about how you could solve this. Do you have an answer yet? Let's talk about it. So I know for me, I could just do another number bond and say, okay, I need 2 liters. So this would be 1 box would represent 1 liter of lemonade. And in 1 liter, there's 140. So it needs to be 140 in both. And if I add those together, I would get 280 liters. 280 liters of lemonade, lemon juice. How are we feeling about this so far? So far, I think they're kind of going a little easier. We're just adding our numbers or subtracting them. So let's try our word problems with multiplication. With these problems, we're going to be multiplying our numbers or using multiplication to solve a problem. So a pitcher of shaved ice, kind of like a snow cone, needs 5 milliliters of food coloring. How many milliliters of food coloring are needed to make 9 pitchers of shaved ice? 9 pitchers. How much food coloring? So let's take a second and think about, what do we know? What do we need to do? Take a second and underline it. Write it down. Do it right on your paper. What do we know? If you need to pause the video, pause the video. Give yourself a second to think. When I'm looking at this, I'm realizing 5 milliliters of food coloring. That's important to know. And that's for 1 pitcher. So you know what? I'm just going to draw 1 pitcher right here. 1 pitcher. And that's getting 5 milliliters of food coloring. But then I need to figure out, if there's 9 pictures, how much food coloring am I going to use? So I'm going to extend. I think I extended a little bit more than I needed to, but I need to make 9 boxes. Uh-oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guess I didn't make it long enough, or maybe my box is too big. So I need to know the total food coloring. And each one of these boxes represents 1 pitcher. So what do I do from here? There's a couple options. You could do your skip counting, 5, 10, 15, 20. You could just do 5 times 9. You could do repeated addition. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 more, plus 5 more, and you could add them as you go. Take a second, figure out the answers. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, did we get an answer of 45 milliliters of food coloring? If you did, you're on the right track. If you didn't, pause the video. Figure out what you did wrong. Was it your multiplication? Was it your repeated addition? Did you have enough boxes of 5? So take a second. If you did not have 45, figure out what went wrong. And then we're going to do another one together. So this next one, Alyssa drinks 3 liters of water every day. That's a lot of water she's drinking. It's 3 of these. She drinks 3 of these every single day. How many liters in 8 days will she drink? Take a second and think, what can we do? And even thinking back to that last problem when we had multiple pitchers, well, this time we have multiple days. So take a second, pause the video, draw me a diagram. Okay, so now I'm wondering, what did you do? I am going to ask to see your papers after, so I'm curious, what did you do? I know how I would solve it. So what I would do is I would just draw a number, not a tape diagram. And I need to know 8 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I do that every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days. And I need to know how much she drinks total. And I'm going to have to pause the video for a second, and you'll find me again in the next one.